I'm going to go into the broadcast booth and turn you guys loose. Good luck. Put on a good show for us. All right, back in here with you, Carlin Hicks from the SCL Racing Network. We are back here for our third race of tonight's Daytona Sportscar Showdown. That is the GTE race. These are Camel GT Series cars for this season. The next two races will be those Camel GT Series cars, the GTE and the Daytona prototypes. So there is our starting order for tonight's race. We've got Hossack from Benson Speed Equipment on the pole. O'Brien, JME Motorsports, qualifying that Corvette second. It's PT for Renaissance Racing. Running in third, SFG Fan fourth. Warren in the SCL accounts fifth. Wanma sixth. Stay Down, our winner of two races tonight, is in seventh. Officials eighth. Mice Pamel qualifying in ninth out of Germany. Muttley from Wacky Racers is 10th. Joey for Wacky Racers 11th. Daz, Team Danamore 12th. Copperhead will start 13th. HCC did not put in a lap time. Not sure if he's starting. He will be in 14th. All right, we're going to get ready to turn these guys loose. 12 laps, including the pace laps. At the Daytona International Speedway, we've seen Stay Down kill in the independent, win both races tonight in the GT3 and Le Mans prototype class, and now we go to the Camel GT cars, the GTE class, and the Daytona prototypes, the Ligiers. So as these guys get themselves set and ready to go to begin tonight's race, tonight's third race, sorry, long night, getting a little distracted. We've got two more to go here on the opening night of Daytona Speed Weeks. Glad to have you all back. Once again, Carlin Hicks up here in the booth. I'll be with you throughout the night. Third race of four in our opening night of SCL Season 23 Daytona Speed Weeks, the Daytona Sports Car Showdown. Each one of the Le Mans Series and Camel GT Series classes running here tonight. And they'll be turning them loose here in just a moment. Hossack, the reigning Winston Cup champion, on the pole. I'll let them get going, and then I'll... Alright, I'm going to get on the monitor here, up near the front. Baron, if you're watching, there will be space for the next race more than likely, so we'll put your name on the entry list there. But for now, hang tight. Got one more race after this one, and we'll get you on that entry list, Baron. Alright, these guys are going to come out and make their pit stop. That's Hossack. The GTE cars will be running with the Daytona prototypes. That's the closed cockpit Ligier LMP2s are the Daytona prototypes. Closed cockpit Ligier LMP2s are the prototype cars in the Camel GT Series. We are using North American Tour rules for this races. That's no bus stop. And you're looking at the Season 22 Winston Cup Series Rookie of the Year and Winston Cup Series champion. Daytona 500 champion Hossack wins the pole for this race. He's got my newest signing to JME Motorsports, O'Brien, right behind him in second. In third will be It's PT from Renaissance Racing. Fourth is the independent SFG Fan. Fifth is SCL, that's Warren Kyle Keith. Sixth is Wanma. Seventh, Stay Down. Eighth is Official. Ninth, Mice Pamel. They're starting to shuffle up, but that's the beginning of your starting order. We'll get on board with, let's take a look at O'Brien, the only JME driver out there tonight, as we're going to watch him as he makes his pit stop with that JME crew in the Chevrolet Corvette that we have been testing all off-season. O'Brien and Cold, the reigning IndyCar Series champion, will be running for us in those cars. In what ought to be, I think, the best season of Camel GT ever. It'll be the 8th one. We ran it for the first time in season 16, and I think it's just been growing and growing. It's the North American Tour Sports Car Championship. Somebody flying backwards on the pits there like a fool. Not really sure who that was. Somebody missing their box, or what's the deal there? Who are we on board with? That was Wanma. I will wait for these guys to get on out and we'll get a bit of a rundown. That is your pole sitter, Hossack. I'm going to let them get shuffled out here as they come through the infield. Our third race of the night, as we said, Stay Down Killen was your winner in the GT3s and the LMPs. And now we'll see what happens in the GTE class. This really ought to be one of, I think, the premier, even though it's the slower class in Camel GT, it may be the premier championship. Reigning Camel GT champion Tiernizzle's in that class. Sir Race-A-Lot, the super fast Sega Keith driver, he's in that. He's going to be running that class. We just got a terrific group of drivers. O'Brien, Cold, if he makes a full-time run, we know he'll be running at least part-time for JME. He's going to be there. It's going to be him. There's O'Brien in second in the Corvette. In third is its PT. And I believe they're in the Ferrari. No, he's in the Aston Martin for Renaissance Racing. SFG will be running in the Ford GT in fourth. Warren Kyle Keith is in the Corvette in fifth place. Stay Down Killen will, I believe, also be running the Ford GT in sixth. Mice Pamel. So we'll get on board with these guys. He's in a Porsche in seventh. The German driving the German car. Official is in the Zenith Motorsports car. Not quite sure what one that is. Maybe I can see from Wanma. Wanma's in a Ferrari. Official is in the wrong car. That's all right for this exhibition race. Muttley's running the Porsche for his team Wacky Racers. Let's get the map up on here for you guys as well. There's Joey for Wacky Racers. He's in a Corvette, while Muttley's in a Porsche. They're obviously still testing cars on that team, as they're not in the cars they're contracted to. That's okay for the exhibition. Daz is in the Ford GT for Team Danamore. Wait a minute, yes he is. There's Copperhead in the Porsche right in front of him, and HCC back of the field in a Ford GT. We're going to be on board with HCC for this start, as we like to take that start from the back of the field. He is directly behind Copperhead, the driver he tangled with in the LMP race just before. So let's hope he minds his P's and Q's and races clean here as we head towards the start. Hossack's going to be leading us. We're going to be on board here at the back. Good luck to these guys as they take it. On lap one there, I'm not really sure, but they're going to be going green here. And we are green, green, green. So that goes, HCC goes underneath Copperhead there. Let's see how this back of the pack handles it. A little bit of bumping and grinding, and they get knocked around and got into each other. That was a third car involved there. As there goes the back of the pack, trying to get back up to speed to wherever they can. We're definitely going to have the yellow out up front. Definitely going to have a caution flag out here after that one. Although I don't see them slowing down just yet. That should have definitely been a yellow, I believe. And I do believe they are now back down. So we're definitely under yellow here right off the start. Somebody got tangled up in the back, got into Copperhead, sent him into HCC. They were three wide there and probably should not have been. But those guys were trying to fan out. I think they tried to take the corner clean. Somebody caught the car in the middle. That was Copperhead. He spun across HCC, and there you go. The pits are not going to open here for this sprint race. And they are bypassing the infield, or coming out of the infield and heading onto the backstretch, as we're going to have a green flag his next time by. Hossack hangs on to the lead. He's got O'Brien behind him in second, SFG in third, its PT is in fourth, and Wanma moving himself up there to fifth. Let's get back to the onboard on the back of the field. That's where we want to see the restart from, as Copperhead comes back up. Don't really think it was his fault there in his Porsche on that wreck. He maybe shouldn't have been three wide in the middle, but I don't think he was trying to. I don't know why he's up in 13th. He should be back in, yeah, he should be giving up 12th place. Copperhead should be behind HCC there. This is where you get up and get going. But I don't think it was his fault necessarily on that wreck. He shouldn't have been in the middle. But he was trying to brake. They were fanned out. He went to the open spot. Somebody came across him. But hopefully these guys got it out of their system. They're going to be going green here on lap 3 of 12 here in this race. I don't know what these two are doing here in the back. This is HCC going up through the field for some reason. Maybe he's being shuffled to the back. That's Copperhead going to the back. Probably telling them that's just where you line up wherever it is you come off the yellow, guys. If you're off on the track, you just got to get back on and go. But they will likely be going green this time by. As starts and restarts, SCL veterans will tell you, starts and restarts are so important in this league. There's no way to underestimate that. To be honest with you, it took me 3 seasons to get good at it. I'm now entering my 12th season, and I still feel shaky sometimes. That's going to be very key here as a Copperhead, new rookie driver, catches up to the back of the field in his Porsche. Hossack still holding the lead here tonight. Let's see, stay down up there in 6th place as he's moved himself up a spot, I believe. He's definitely a contender with 2 wins here in these special sprints already tonight. We're going to remind you guys tomorrow night, the IndyCar Series All-Star Race, the Marlboro Challenge, 7 p.m. Eastern is the call time. Make sure you get there in time if you are not an All-Star qualified driver. Are we already under green? We must be. They must have called it at the. At the segment. I did not catch that, but we'll get back on board here in this race as O'Brien and Hossack are door handle to door handle. O'Brien and Hossack door handle to door handle here as they go into turn 1. We are back under green. Let's get back onto our chase cam. There's Hossack directly behind O'Brien. Wanma's coming up behind them. SFG's pressuring Wanma for 3rd. Stay downs up to 5th place. Warren's right behind them in 6th, and not far behind that is its PT in 7th, Mies Pamel in 8th. Official coming back at 9th. We'll get on board at the back of this pack. Stay down obviously getting tangled up there, and we'll stay on board with the 8th place car, 7th place car, which is Mies Pamel. He's coming up here as this battle neck and neck right here. Let's get back up to the front here. Give you guys a view of the race for the lead. O'Brien just out in front of Hossack. You can see there the cars coming back through. O'Brien in that Corvette, that Chevrolet for JME Motorsports. That's Hossack right behind him. Wanma 3 seconds back in 3rd. Then that's where it gets very tight all the way back through 7th. Those guys coming through the field. Let's go to the back of the field on board and work our way up and see what we're seeing. Copperhead not off on a good start. He's 15 seconds behind, still got plenty of time. However, there's Stay Down, who obviously got in off track and into something. He's back to 13th, chasing down Joey in 12th in his Corvette. Muttley is in the Porsche running in 11th. There's Daz in front of that, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Daz in 8th, HCC in 9th, and Officials in 10th. Mies Pamel up there jumped in front of us. He is in 7th. I said 8th, 9th, and 10th. That was 10th, 9th, and 8th. Check that. There's Mies Pamel. It's PT up in front of him in the Pirelli-sponsored car. He's in 6th as they come 4 of them into turn 1. Can they hold it together? That's its PT coming up on SFG fan right in front of him. There's Warren Kyle Keith. There's Wanma in 3rd, and there's your battle for the lead. Hossack coming up on O'Brien. These two on lap 5 and 12. Seemingly holding it together here. Get back on board at the closest battle at the back of that pack. We're on board with Mies Pamel, the German independent driver. He's in 7th at the back of a group that is fighting all the way up to the lead. They're not that far ahead of Official in 8th. Somebody hit the sign. Sign goes flying as they come on to the super speedway section. This is turning out to be a heck of a race. As I said, GTE is going to be one of the most exciting and popular classes. Copperhead looks like he's blown a motor and he is out. and we are down to 12 cars. So we have our first blown motor here. Going to have to get that independent drivers motor program in shape before the season starts. And 4.8 seconds here from the leader all the way back here to 6th. We're on board with Luis Campbell in 6th. He's got SFG, XPT, and Warren Kyle Keith all in the yellow cars in front of him. Just trying to find somewhere to put this car as Mice Pamela. German driver, probably not used to running on the high banks of the speedway. He's going to have to read it down here into turn 1. He goes on the outside. Makes the best move he can possibly make as O'Brien and the leaders take on to lap 6. 12 cars remaining out of our 14 starters. As I said, Copperhead has blown his motor. Here comes Mice. Ooh, somebody's sliding off to the outside there. That was It's PT. He gets back on the track directly behind Mice Pamela. So amazing those guys held on to that there. Don't want to leave this action, but we're going to have to head back up to the front. A little bit of bumping and banging there with Warren Kyle Keith, but we're back on board with Hossack. Ford GT car for Benson Speed Equipment. He is chasing O'Brien's JME Motorsports Corvette. These guys, when they hit the line, will be halfway through the scheduled distance. O'Brien, rookie driver in season 21, and I said before, he was the Camel GT Series Rookie of the Year runner-up. Finished 5th in points that season. Ran very solid last season. Was a top 10 driver in Camel GT. And we'll be running in the GTE class for JME this season. We're excited to have him on board. But you're on board right now with Hossack from Benson Speed Equipment. Reigning Winston Cup champion. He's going to try to set him up here on the Super Speedway. You'll see the difference between these cars on the Super Speedway. He's getting that draft, and O'Brien's trying to break it. Mixed judgment as to whether that's a good strategy. Sometimes they think it just slows you down more, but that Corvette has some muscle, and he's holding on to it. If you can hang on into turn 1, hang on into, without the bus stop, just hang on going into the trioval, you're going to be set. And he is in good shape right there. Let's get back to this battle. 4 cars right up close. We got anything else right here? Officials up on the wall chasing Daz. He's going to fall behind that. Stay Down's had some trouble and is running back in 9th. He's not going to get back up without a caution flag. And lap 10 is our green to the finish point. There's Joey fighting her down in the Corvette. He's got HCC coming underneath him to take that 10th place spot. And Muttley right up there with him. Those 3 cars all battling for that 10th place spot. Somebody went around that, I believe, is going to be SFG. Yes, it is. SFG went around on his own. And that's going to separate those up. So we're going to go back up towards the top 5. There's It's PT running back up to the lead here. O'Brien in first, Hossack second. Warren Kyle Keith is in 3rd. Mice Pamela is in 4th now, and It's PT is back to 5th, as there's a little bit of separation there among the middle part of that group, and that's going to make the battle here up front the premier one with O'Brien from JME Motorsports. Take a look at our timings very briefly and take a look at what our best lap of the race is so far. That would be the 1:37.8 by Hossack, although he's not that far ahead of Mice Pamela and O'Brien. These cars still under speed, and O'Brien coming down. You can see on your map there on the right, the arrow is the car that we're on. They are coming out of Speedway 4, and O'Brien trying to hang on here. Hossack, however, reigning Daytona 500 and Firecracker 400 champion. He knows how to play that speedway. It's really going to come down to the transition off the infield onto the super speedway on the last lap. And around goes O'Brien. O'Brien goes around. I believe that was without contact on his own, and he loses the lead. That has got to be devastating. He was in the lead. He goes down. Hossack's going to jump out in front, and O'Brien's going to have cars on top of him now. Warren Kyle Keith closing in now in 3rd place. O'Brien going around, and looks like the transition. The S is coming out of turn 1, and there goes the lead. He's definitely going to be kicking himself there. Still time for a yellow. I don't believe that was a yellow flag. Get back onto our chase cam and see what kind of battles we've got in front of us. This is the closest one. 5th place, It's PT chasing Mice Pamela. battles back in the field here as well. It's PT. We said IndyCar Series race winner last season. He is going to try to run down the rookie driver from Germany here, Misa. Up in front of them, there is Warren Kyle Key trying to run down O'Brien, who's kicking himself now as Hossack all by himself in that Ford GT running in first place. After O'Brien went around, he managed to avoid it, and he might have this one in the bag with 4 laps to go at the line. It's PT looks to make his move. We'll give you a trackside view of this one. That's It's PT on the outside, Mice Pamel on the inside, as they are going to be coming across the tri-oval and into turn 1. It's PT makes the pass and gets punted real hard there by Mice Pamel. Misa was not ready for him to pull out in front of him. PT does a great job of saving it, but he's not going to be very happy about that by no means. Mice Pamel slowed down though and gave him the spot back, so he showed great courtesy there on the track. It really just wound up hurting both of them at the end of the day, but good sportsmanship from Misa. He was not ready for PT to dive in front of him and didn't brake in time. But 2 of them managed to come through that about as good as you can. I got to give them credit now. Meanwhile, back in 3rd place and 2nd, O'Brien's going to try to hang on to the 2nd place finish here, as they are making up little bits of time here. They're going to be close to each other. If we jump on the chase cam here with Warren, we might see if they can build up their speed here in these Corvettes and try to run down Hossack up front. But with the amount of time left, I don't know that that's possibly going to happen. May not have enough time to make this move. Go back in towards the field. Back in 6th place there, we've got Daz hanging on by just over a second over Stay Down directly in front of him. You can see the gap between those two is not much. Daz running, of course, what we said earlier, from Team Dana Moore. There's Stay Down directly behind him, trying to get up to him for 6th place. Stay Down's got to be disappointed that far down in the field. Definitely thought he was a contender here in this race, but had a little trouble. It's tough coming through the pack. It's a lot easier when you're starting out front. Official running there in 8th, which would be a solid finish for him. He's had trouble in the first 2 races tonight in the Zenith Motorsports car. He is going to try to hang on here and run this GTE car into a top 10 finish. There's HCC running back in 9th. SFG, who was running up front earlier, had some troubles in 10th. Joey battling tooth and nail with his own teammate, Muttley, right there in 11th and 12th at the back of the field. There's the battle behind that right there of the 2nd and 3rd place cars that we'll be getting to here momentarily. We are in the green to the finish point too, so Hossack really would have to give this away, although his gap has come down by about half a second from what it was earlier. He picks up on the speedway. Let's see if he loses by the end of the speedway. That's the thing we really want to see, if they have any shot at getting to him. Meanwhile, SCL car, which is Warren, we're going to get on board with him and try to see if he can use his Corvette to chase down O'Brien's Corvette. This is a big moment for a driver like O'Brien in his 3rd season. Damage control. Can you're disappointed, you probably blew your shot at winning the race. Can you hang on and get 2nd? That's what happens in the championship season when you're running these 200, 300, 400-mile races, these long events. You got to keep your concentration, and when something happens, do you have a bad race and hang on to 3rd, 4th, 5th, or do you have a bad race and finish 11th, 12th, 13th? That's the difference between who finishes in the top 5 points at the end of the season and who doesn't. And we'll see if O'Brien can keep his concentration on him here, moving towards the back end of this race, as he's got a former Camel GT champion trying to run him down here in an identical car. And Warren is definitely closing in. Let's see, go back for a moment here to the 10th place and 9th place battle. This is SFG on HCC's tail as they come down into turn 1 here on lap 11. HCC goes way, way wide. He is off the track, and that is going to cost him that position. SFG is going to go by him and try to run down official for 8th place. Meanwhile, Daz coming up on Stay Down in 6th. Misa not quite close enough here to its BT to challenge for 4th, and it looks like Warren's fallen over a second back now from O'Brien in 2nd place. So we're going to get back onto the trackside view with our race leader, O'Brien. O'Brien there in his Ford GT for Benson Speed Equipment, going to get there. Looks like he may hang on and get their first win of SCL Speed Weeks. As he came through that trouble, was running right there with O'Brien, and O'Brien had that trouble in turn 1. That was all it took, and he's got the experience now heading into his second season, already a major series champion, Winston Cup. He's already shown that he's in a position where I don't think he'll give this away, as he takes the white flag here on lap 12, looking to take the win in the GTE class of the Daytona Sportscar Showdown. We're back up here to O'Brien, who's going to be disappointed, but he's held on to that third place. He's opened up that gap to 2 seconds here on Warren Kyle Keith in the battle for second place. Warren looking to hang on to his podium spot. He's got a 6-second lead. Warren there in the Corvette for Sega Keith Motorsports, looking to hang on to that podium. He's 6 seconds ahead of its PT right there in the Pirelli car. Quite sure what make that is. Perhaps a Porsche. It's PT running in 4th place, which will be a good finish for him. He hasn't really had the finishes we're used to seeing him be a top 5 contender, race in, race out. He was not that the first 2 classes earlier, but hanging on to get a 4th place finish here would be solid. And there's Misa, rookie driver, running in his country's car in the Porsche, and looking solid. He's in 5th place. He's going to try to hang on here as he's got Stay Down coming up not far behind him. This might be the chase to be watching here. Stay Down's going to try to steal that top 5 finish from Misa. But as we get back up towards the front of the field, here is Hossack on the backstretch. He lost something there. He lost something there. Hossack lost it somewhere. Here comes O'Brien. Here comes O'Brien in 2nd place, moving up on him. Was this just some weird drama? Well, Hossack's going to hang on to it. I'm not sure what happened there. Let me get on board with Hossack. No, it wasn't fuel. Not quite sure there what happened, but he's going to hang on to the win. O'Brien's coming across in 2nd. Warren's in 3rd. It's PT 4th. Mice Pamel 5th. It looks like he's going to hang on over Stay Down, but what a finish there. Not really sure what happened. We'll have to get Hossack into the booth here momentarily. See what happened there, but Hossack hangs on to the win in the GTE class for Benson Speed Equipment. I believe he's running in the LMP2s as well this season, so a solid performance, and there's your finish. There's the finish here tonight at the LMP2 class. Going to get a snapshot of it real quick and let you guys take a look at it. We've got Hossack taking the win. O'Brien comes home for JME in 2nd. Warren Kyle Keith in 3rd. It's PT 4th, and Mice Pamel 5th place. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast. We've got one more race coming, the LMP2 class. And we'll be back with you shortly.